everyone. Okay, so I'm here live with you guys. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. So I'm going to give you some hair and some nail hacks. All right. So let's go step by step. So for those of you that have hair fall, great ingredients for hair fall include things like onion juice. Now, why is that? Onion juice actually recently has been proven to improve a condition called alopecia areata. It does have a lot of vitamins. It does have antioxidants like quercetin. It does have a ton of anti-inflammatories. But what it also does is it's sort of an irritant. So you know, like when people say, oh, derma roller or do microneedling for the scalp, it's sort of irritating the scalp. So onion juice actually makes it rejuvenate in a way. So it stimulates it, blood flow comes to the area, all of the good cells come to the area, and it says, hey, let's wake up, you know? So through this method of irritation, onion juice actually can help increase hair growth. So I thought that was pretty exciting. So, you know, a mix of like onion juice, maybe some mint, some coconut oil. You can mix them all together and you can actually apply it on the scalp. A lot of Ayurvedic people also like bringraj or hibiscus oil. Those are also very nice. And you can, or hibiscus extracts, you can mix all of that together and apply it on the scalp, and you can thread it through the ends, at least the coconut oil part, and leave it on for an hour and wash it off. I would say do that 2 or 3 times a week. Okay, so that's something you can do for hair fall. All right, so that's really great. Now, say some of you have frizzy hair, you know, like my hair tends to frizz up, right? Like frizzy hair or damage or a lot of breakage. Now, the best thing that you guys are doing during this time period is taking a break. You're not doing your keratin, you're not doing your cysteine, you're not doing your perms, you're not doing your blow dries, you're not doing your blowouts, you're not doing your curling. All of that is extremely traumatic to the hair. Obviously, like a simple blow dry or a curl or like a dark coloring isn't as traumatic as maybe a perm or a keratin hair straightening, but they're still all traumatic. Even a highlighting is traumatic to the hair. You're damaging hair that tend to, oh, I think the connection is unstable. Perming or even highlighting your hair. So highlighting, keratin, perming, these are all things that definitely damage your hair. And cysteine also may be a variant of keratin, so I would say avoid that as well. So these are things that we want to avoid, in case you guys are doing that. Do not use a hair dryer on your hair. Let it air dry. And no one's looking at you anyway, so let it air dry. Don't comb your hair when it's wet. That also damages your hair, so that's a big tip as well. And the third thing is use this time to retrain your scalp, all right? So try and shampoo no more than once or twice a week. See if you can go at least once a week. The other times use water, and that'll start balancing your scalp and the way it functions. Now, what's a home remedy? So we want, if you have frizzy hair, a lot of breakage, that means that the cuticle of the hair is damaged. So the cuticle is the outer covering, which makes it look smooth and shiny. When that is rough or damaged, then what happens is that it looks rough, it looks frizzy, because now it's not smooth anymore. It's not a smooth cuticle. So for that, you want to smooth it. Now, how do we smooth it? Things like acids or alpha hydroxy acids, or vinegars, these tend to improve it. So apple cider vinegar, if you dilute it in water, that's a great hair rinse. Another thing that's a great rinse is something called beer. You know, beer is also a great rinse. So one of my favorite mixes is apple cider vinegar with some beer diluted in water. Wash your hair, and then you can actually use it as a rinse for your hair, and then you can condition it after that. You should feel like your hair is much shinier and definitely more smooth after that. You can do that once a week without a problem. If you feel like your hair is smelling too much of beer, then wash it with water a lot and then do the conditioner. But typically it washes right out, so that's a really, really good mix to do for shiny hair. Now, for those of you with very dry strands, we want to do things that have a lot of good essential fatty acids in it. Now, the only oil that's been proven to definitely enter into the hair strands as of now is coconut oil, which is wonderful, right? We love coconut oil. So get extra virgin coconut oil, massage it onto the scalp for 5 to 10 minutes, and then thread it through the strands. And what will happen is that'll help bind the hair. If you have dandruff, please don't do any oiling, okay? Oiling is bad for you. So no oil, please, and avoid the oiling. I said it again, avoid the oiling, okay? And don't do it. But if you have dry strands, like I said, coconut oil massage is great. Another great mix is coconut oil, yolk, and avocado. So you can mix all those 3 things together apply it on the strands, let it dry. It forms actually like a dry mix very often, especially if you do less oil, and then wash it out. You'll see a big difference like that. All right. You'll find that your hair is definitely smoother because all of that fat in it makes a big difference. So guys, look at that as a remedy for things like dry hair. Again, once or twice a week is more than enough. Once a week, especially if you're shampooing only once a week. Another thing that people talk about is things like dandruff. Now, dandruff is really hard to treat at home. Dandruff is recurrent, which means that it's something that will keep happening. It'll keep happening, as time goes on. It'll keep happening. It'll happen, then it'll go away, then it'll get triggered by a weather change or by stress or by something you're eating, and then it'll come back. So dandruff there is no real permanent cure. So what do we do for it? First thing is if you're getting a lot of dandruff, don't apply any serums, don't do any treatments, don't do any coconut oil or oiling like I said before. But let's look at reduces sort of proliferating the scalp, and the scalp is getting inflamed because of it. It also tends to produce a lot more oil. So that whole area needs to sort of be cleansed. Now, how do we cleanse? Natural sulfur. So the element sulfur, not sulfa, natural sulfur. Sulfa are antibiotic group of drugs, whereas sulfur is a natural element that's present in your body and present in nature. So elemental sulfur can be effective on dandruff. Now, what ingredients have elemental sulfur? Onion juice, yolks. These are all great things that actually have it. So if you mix a bit of onion juice and yolk, and then we can mix natural salicylic acid, so like wintergreen, or even a bit of spinach has salicylic acid. You mix these three things together. You can even add a little bit of alpha hydroxy acids to cleanse the scalp. So maybe a bit of sugar paste, a little sugar with some water. Mix these three things, apply it on the scalp, not on the strands, apply it on the scalp, massage it, let it really get in, and then wash it out. Leave it on for about 5-10 minutes and then wash it out. Do that 2-3 times a week. That can definitely help. So you want to really cleanse that scalp out. Even a little bit of lemon helps. I would also say just take a wet washcloth and every day try and get the scales off naturally with some warm water. That's a really nice way to sort of like soften up the scales, the scales that come off those little flakes. It softens them up and just cleans them off, so that way it's just not as traumatic. And it's just a bit of warm water, so it's not going to make you greasy or anything like that. That's also something you can do. So those are my hair hacks, if you will. Let's go with hair care. So like I said, let's try and reduce the amount that we shampoo, no more than once or twice a week. For those of you that can manage once in 2 weeks, even better. The more you shampoo, even if it's a sulfate-free shampoo, you actually create a little bit of trauma to the hair. You're washing out dirt for sure, but you're also washing out the good stuff, which is its natural fats, its natural vitamins, its natural health. So those are things that we have to watch out for. Okay, so shampooing less is always better. Got it? And another thing that you can do is condition the hair before you shampoo. So you condition the ends, wash it out with water, shampoo the head, then condition the ends again, and then voila. So you never condition the scalp because the scalp creates its own oil, but you do condition the ends, which tend to be dry and tend to be dead. So that's how you function. So shampoo the scalp, but don't shampoo the ends. Condition the ends, but don't condition the scalp. Got it? Okay. That's very, very important for natural routines. Hair masks are wonderful. I've already gone through a bunch of home remedies you can do, but you can get great hair masks like Kerastase has them, Moroccan Oil has them, Pani Puri from Thailand has them. There's so many brands that have lovely hair masks, and those are very nice also for hydrating the hair and improving the texture of them. Those are things you can buy. Even Olaplex is a really great home thing you can do to help improve the texture of your hair. So that's also really, really cool, okay? Let's see. Okay, so a lot of people suffer from things like hair fall. Like, what are the biggest causes? I've already gone through a home remedy for hair fall. Biggest causes tend to be stress, weather change. You just had a baby. A few months later, women tend to lose their hair because all their vitamins tend to be depleted. Illnesses are a big trigger. Dandruff is a trigger. Genetics are a trigger. Whey protein powders can cause hair loss. That's a big thing because it changes the hormones. Too much dairy, that can cause hair loss. Steroid supplements can cause hair loss. So those of you that are taking these things, please cut them out. I always check vitamins. I check ferritin, vitamin B12, folic acid, zinc, thyroid, and vitamin D, and the CBC just to be safe. And my cutoffs tend to be much higher than the average person. So like my ferritin, I want it above 100. and I want my B12 above 400 or 500. I want my zinc above 100, and I want my vitamin D above 70. So these are things that you look at. So even if it says it's normal, just remember these amounts that I'm telling you, and then you give yourself those vitamins. And if it's iron, make sure you take at least 325 milligrams a day. If it's zinc, at least 50 milligrams a day. If it's vitamin, but it really does improve hair fall in 99% of cases, unless you have, something like androgenetic alopecia or female pattern baldness, in which case we can help slow the process. Natural inner vitamin amount is not enough, then how will PRP work? You still need to have enough to create the hair, enough vitamins to create the hair. So I will never do a PRP unless I'm sure that the vitamins are at least in progress to improve. Got it? All right, so that's hair. I think I've covered all of those questions. Now let's go on to nails, all right? So guys, this is the best time for your nails because you don't have to do nail polish, no gel nails, nothing like that. All of that really, really damages your nails. There's no oxygen. Nails actually have a huge bed for oxygenation. So when you are doing nail polish all the time, you're doing gel nails, you're doing acrylic nails, all of these things stop the oxygenation of the nail. So take this break, take all of your nail polish off, take all your gel nails off, just let them breathe. Let your nails breathe. Yes, let them breathe, okay? Another thing, don't bite your cuticles, don't bite your nails. It's not required. If you want, put a little chili pepper on your nails so you don't bite it. But that's also going to damage your nails, okay? These are things that you have to do. Now, you guys are washing your hands a lot. Please remember, wash gently. You don't have to kill them. You rub 20 seconds, all right? You wash between the fingers, the fronts, all up to the wrist, okay? And that's enough. Use a gentle soap like Parasoft or Cetaphil cleanser. Actually, I prefer Parasoft soap. You want an actual soap because the physical action also removes it, while the actual soap itself also kills bacteria. So it has a double function. So the physical action helps remove bacteria from this bacteria and fungus and viruses from the skin, but also the soap itself will disrupt the bilayer or the outer covering of viruses and bacteria and kills them just like that. So soap is way better than any sanitizer. But, if we don't have soap, then we use sanitizer. You guys are also using a lot of sanitizers over too much. So try and find a sanitizer that has moisturizer in it. Try and find a soap that has moisturizer in it. Don't use the super harsh like Dettol soaps. Parasoft soap is fine. Make sure you moisturize the moment you're done. A good moisturizer like Venusia cream or, Cetaphil or X-Omega or Atoderm Balm or probiotic cream. All of these are really great moisturizers. Moisturize immediately on wet skin after you wash your hands, and even put a bit of petroleum jelly. That also helps. All right, so moisturize like hell. If you're washing dishes, wear gloves. Cover the wrists of the gloves, tighten around it so that water doesn't go in. All right, I have a lot of people where water somehow goes into their gloves and then they get a big rash on their hands. Please don't. Don't overwash your hands 9,000 times. I know we want to be clean right now during this time, but wash your hands when you go after you come back home. Before you touch your face, if you touch anything that might be dirty. But in your house, if nobody has COVID, you don't need to wash your hands anytime you touch anything, as long as everything is already pre-sterilized and clean. Don't stress yourself out, okay? Simplify your life and simplify your hand care. Now, so when you're drying out your hands, you're also drying out your nails. So what are things we can do for our nails? Every day you can put a bit of Vaseline petroleum jelly on it a few times a day. If you don't have Vaseline petroleum jelly, cocoa butter is a wonderful thing, okay? Put it all around, put it on your cuticles. That's really great. It really helps bind them and protect them from the elements and also protect them from too much drying. Do that a few times a day. Do that 5 times a day. It doesn't hurt you, okay? Another thing you can do is cocoa butter on your hands. That's really great. Another thing you can do is a petroleum jelly mask. You can actually put petroleum jelly on the hands and the nails and then put a little like plastic wrap on them and leave it on for an hour and then wash it off. That's a really great remedy. These are all easy things everyone can do at home. You can even do a paraffin wax treatment. Put a little oil in it. Once you get a little thin layer above so it splits up, check the temperature so it's not going to burn you. So check on your wrist or use a thermometer. And then you just apply enough layers on the hands once you know it's not too hot. And then you can put like either a sandwich bag, like a Ziploc bag on top, or even that saran wrap, that clear plastic wrap, put that on your hands and leave it on for an hour or two. Once that dries, you'll take off the wrap or take your hands out of the sandwich bags and then let it dry if it's not dry yet. And then you just peel it off and your hands will be really, really moisturized. You can do that once or twice a week, no problem. If you want, you can add some fun things also, rose water or some, extracts. It's up to you, but it's really the paraffin wax that's really effective. Vitamins that you can take: biotin, zinc, minerals like magnesium, selenium. These are all really great minerals to take and vitamins to take that help you with your nails. And, I think that makes a lot of sense. So I guess this ends our current session. I hope you guys enjoyed my POPxo Live with you guys. I enjoyed coming on. Thank you for having me. And maybe I'll come on again and give you some more tips. And I hope you enjoyed my home remedies for your hair and for your nails. And thank you so much.